Welcome to the Neo News Today podcast. My name is Dean, and today we're going to be talking to another Dean, Dean van Dugteren, who happens to be appearing on the pod for the second time. Now, Dean is one of the founders of a new project called nOS, which is a virtual operating system for Neo applications that will allow users to run Neo dApps safely and securely on their local environments, as well as being able to use any NEP5 utility token through automatic conversion through GAS. Don't forget to subscribe to the pod wherever you're listening to this, be it iTunes, YouTube, or Google Play. And we appreciate a share if you think people will find this information useful. All right, let's look ahead to what's coming up over the next few weeks. Neo is on its second European tour for 2018, having just completed the Neo Loves Amsterdam conference and hackathon and the Neo Lisbon meetup and workshop. Meetups and workshops are still to be held in Madrid on the 19th, Paris on the 22nd, Vienna on the 24th, and Zurich on the 26th. Projects presenting on the tour include names such as Pixio Chain, New Econolabs, NeoAuth, QLink, Alchemint, nOS, Ontology, Moonlight, and many more. So visit the calendar on Neo News Today to find full schedule information, locations, and RSVP links. All right, let's move on to the interview. I have Dean van Dugteren, founder of Click.dj, VDT Network, City of Zion developer, and now you can add to the list, founder of nOS. Dean, how are you today?
I'm great, man. This sounds like a rerun.
Yeah, well, this is your second time on the podcast, and we're very happy to have you back. And you've been busy since we last spoke, right?
Quite busy. Yeah, I attended the Neo Asia tour as an instructor. I'm working on the Neo Loves Amsterdam event that's coming up, and of course the new mystery project nOS, which will have been announced by the time you hear this podcast because the event will have already happened.
That's right. So full disclosure, listeners, we're recording this episode before the Neo Loves Amsterdam conference. So although you'll hear it after the event is already done, we're not there yet, so I can't ask Dean. So how was the event? But
Dean, it was great. Oh man, there were speeches and projects, and it was about Neo. Oh man.
Sounds fantastic. But it is in your backyard, mate, and you're, again, one of the key organizers.
Yes.
And this whole event is going to kick off a second European tour for Neo, which is awesome. But what do you think people are going to get out of this conference?
A lot of new information. We have 5 new projects being presented at the event. 3 projects that won the Neo Microsoft Developer Competition and 2 new project announcements, nOS and Victor. And Da Hongfei and Eric Zhang will also be there, which is very exciting. I'm expecting a lot of awesome new information that we'll see at Da's presentation and at all the other presentations of all the people that are coming. You know, Alchemint, QLink, Ontology.
Excellent.
It's going to be very exciting.
And anyone who misses it or has missed it by the time they hear this, you will be recording this with HD cameras. That'll be up on YouTube, so people will be able to go and watch the whole event, right?
Yeah. It will be live streamed, and you'll have a full VOD where you can watch everything.
Excellent. So let's talk about nOS. You've described this as an app store and web browser or a virtual operating system for Neo. So what does that mean, and why do people need it?
So nOS is a virtual operating system that is completely powered by the Neo Smart Economy. And that means that you will be able to access an open internet. And we call it the open internet because applications can choose to be completely open, transparent, and honest. So for the user benefit, this means that users now always know that whatever they do when they interact with an application is real. They know exactly what's happening, and there's no processing or selling of data without your knowledge. You will always know what's up. And the benefit for applications is that they are able to fully integrate with the smart economy. They can integrate decentralized voting, data verification, ICOs and tokens. All the benefits that come with blockchain are now able to be easily integrated into a web-based application using nOS. And to connect to this open internet, nOS introduces a client and sort of decentralized app store, which you can use to interact with applications, build applications, and discover applications, all decentralized on the Neo Smart Economy.
That sounds great. So So what will the user experience be like then? So I open up my laptop and I decide I want to open a Neo application. What do I do? So do I launch the nOS browser essentially, and then is there a search bar? Is it like my iPhone where I've got applications that I click on? What's that going to look like?
Yeah, so what's awesome is you are already going to be able to try it out yourself because the nOS client will already be released by April 14th, by the end of the presentation at Neo Loves Amsterdam. But essentially, you start up the nOS client, you log in with your private key or your ledger, etc., and then you'll be connected to the Neo-powered virtual operating system that is nOS and the open internet. And by then, you will be able to access decentralized applications, you'll be able to access a decentralized app store, and you'll be able to interact with all of this and so forth.
Excellent. Well, guys, is there a link you can give us now for where they can go and download that application?
Yeah, you will be able to find everything on nos.io, or you can go to github.com/nos for all the GitHub repositories.
Okay, cool. So I was looking through your concept paper, and one of the points there that will hopefully make things a lot easier for users who want to use Neo applications, Neo-based applications, was the gas to NEP5 exchange protocol. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely, and this is a really cool feature. Apart from nOS having its own utility token for platform utility, gas will be a utility token as well. Gas can be exchanged to any token required to make an interaction on an nOS application. I'll explain it by example. So I'm using an application called Job Token. And on Job Token, I can create jobs and stake job tokens, which will be used to reward whoever completes the job. So I create a job, such as deliver flowers, and I want to use 100 job tokens as the reward. When I click Create Job, nOS will detect that I don't have any job tokens and will ask me to convert an amount of gas to the desired amount of job tokens, in this case 100 job tokens. If I approve, gas is automatically converted to the 100 job tokens. Then these tokens are attached to the interaction and the job with the 100 job tokens staked will have been created. So you can imagine using all these different applications with each their own different token. When you only have to use gas, interacting with the smart economy becomes much more user-friendly.
That sounds great. One token for everything.
That's right. And
Awesome.
It's gas.
Yep, that's good. That's great. So, and how will this work for developers? Now, if I want to deploy my application to nOS, do I need to make any changes in the way that I might approach Neo application development? And then how do I actually deploy it to the platform?
So that's one of the beautiful things about nOS. We are introducing a JavaScript library that allows you to interact with nOS and the Neo Smart Economy extremely easily. In my opinion, it's the easiest and most efficient way to build decentralized applications, period. You can use React, Vue.js, any other JavaScript framework, or just vanilla JavaScript to build your application, as you would any other web app. So you can build your smart contracts with Neo using familiar web languages, Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, C#, and you can build the rest of your application stack in nOS also using familiar web languages and methods. So that makes it a very user-friendly and experience that's very familiar with modern web developers.
Okay, cool. And then how does the universal smart contracts tie into all this?
So the Universal Smart Contract, or USC as I like to call it, is a single smart contract that's to be hosted on the Neo mainnet that contains a bunch of functions and methods and storage logic that any application can call. So if an application does not have the ability or funds to create their own smart contract and deploy it on a Neo mainnet, then they can just call this singular smart contract that's already hosted on the Neo mainnet, set up their database structure, and then go on with quick development and prototyping. And this is all natively integrated into the nOS client. So it'll be very easy to start building decentralized applications using nOS, not even having to build your own smart contract if you don't want to or can't, you know.
Right. So to make sure I understand that correctly, so this isn't like a template that people will deploy
No.
100 times. It's one contract. Once it goes up on the Neo blockchain, it's there and anyone can use it.
Yeah, that's right. It's one single smart contract, and anyone will be able to call it and set up their own database structure in that smart contract. And then they can use functions and use storage methods which are exclusive to their application.
Okay, cool. Sounds interesting. And what can you tell us about the token utility on nOS?
The nOS utility token is the backbone of the open internet and the virtual operating system. Projects and developers can stake tokens in order to register their application, a domain, get listed, and get rated by decentralized authorities. So decentralized authorities is the other utility of the token that's for the end user. Users can stake tokens in order to gain voting power on the platform. They become authorities, and authorities can vote on applications and get rewarded in token airdrops for voting truthfully. And applications gain a reputation based on these votes. And this not only increases the quality of nOS applications, but also introduces a new revenue model for developers. Applications with a high reputation will earn tokens. So if an application doesn't have its own revenue model or token or whatever, it can still earn revenue simply by being high quality. So those are two key utilities of the nOS token, which both introduce a staking model for the application side with the hosting perspective and the user side with the authority perspective.
All right, so if I want to deploy an application as a developer, I stake nOS tokens, and that gives me access to storage or whatever else I might need to run my application.
Yeah.
And then if I am a user of the platform, then I can stake my nOS tokens to gain voting power, and I can use that voting power to vote for applications that I like and that I trust, and hopefully that will help the adoption and help those applications to become more successful.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. And since nOS has a decentralized application store, the rankings of the applications are also decided by their reputation. So applications that have a high reputation will become more discoverable, and applications with a low reputation will be less discoverable, and applications with a very low reputation might even show a warning before users access them to, protect them from scams and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So I think one question some people might have is, if you've got this, I guess, closed virtual environment where you can run applications, what are the differences and similarities to projects like Elastos and maybe EOS?
nOS, Elastos, and EOS all adopt a virtual operating system, but in different ways. So NOS has a focus on adoption, user-friendliness, and ease of development for modern web developers, which are elements that these other OS quote-unquote platforms don't have. One key element is that both Elastos and EOS adopt C++ as their main application language, which isn't the ideal language to build modern web apps with. A lot of modern developers aren't familiar with C++ development. People who are looking to build responsive applications with a smart contract backend may consider building on either EOS, Elastos, or the combination of nOS and Neo. And with both nOS and Neo being accessible to modern developers for both the front end and the back end, I can imagine a lot of developers choosing to go with nOS and Neo over other platforms.
Excellent. And then I guess the other thing that we need to know is who's working on this project. What does the rest of your team look like?
We have a very talented and reputable development team for nOS. So we have Matt Huggins, who is a developer at City of Zion and the maintainer of the Neon wallet, who is an extremely talented developer. We have Jason Perry, also known as Ambithia, who is also a developer at City of Zion. He is also the founder of the Suncoast Developer Guild in Florida, which is a developer school. He is also an extremely talented developer and the creator of Neo Ruby, which is the Ruby compiler for Neo. And we have Jeroen Peters and Maurice Dalderup from Belgium. They are the creators of NeoBlog, and Jeroen Peters is also in City of Zion. So these are some amazing, talented developers that are working on nOS. And I myself am the founder of nOS, and I have also created VDT Network, ClickDJ, Videato, and the NeoDAB Starter Kit. And I've also programmed these myself.
Excellent. A lot of development talent there and a lot of City of Zion talent as well.
Yes.
Sweet. So you've obviously got a lot on your plate as well. You've got VDT. And last time we spoke, you said you couldn't tell us much about the token sale, but you thought you might be happy. People might be happy with what you had planned. So can you tell me anything about that now, a couple of weeks later?
Yeah. So VDT Network will integrate with the Moonlight marketplace. It will be the fundamental backend of the VDT Network modules for rendering and automated computing. And with that, VDT will use gas as its main utility token. So VDT Network will not hold an ICO itself. So if you want to benefit from the VDT network from an investor perspective, you would want to buy Lux tokens from Moonlight. But I want to reward all early VDT followers, so we will give them priority in the nOS token sale. So if you subscribed to the VDT newsletter before April 14th, before the Neo Loves Amsterdam event, you will be considered an early supporter and you will receive priority access to the nOS token sale.
Okay, great. So that's a nice little bonus for early supporters of VDT. But I guess what I'm hearing from you here is that from a broad perspective with what you're doing with VDT and also some of the functionality you're integrating into nOS, is that you're really championing gas as the utility token for the Neo ecosystem.
That's right. Every strategic decision I make with the development of Neo projects is that the ecosystem comes first. Gas is the utility token of the network, so if it can be used in such a way, then it should. You can introduce your own token and still utilize gas within your project, as you can now see with nOS, NEX, Moonlight, and VDT. Gas adoption is essential for the smart economy, and I predict we will be seeing a lot of projects following our lead.
Excellent. So, roadmaps for both nOS and VDT. What are the next steps?
So, we will continue to build our client on nOS. It's already available, people can already use it and build decentralized applications. So, we will also host workshops, hackathons, that kind of stuff around the world. And we will continue to build towards our mainnet release, and we will have our TGE or token sale in the third quarter of 2018. And for VDT Network, we will release our modules in alignment with the Moonlight Marketplace. So when the Moonlight Marketplace is out, users will be able to create decentralized rendering applications and automated computing applications running the Moonlight Marketplace in the backend.
Awesome. Sounds great. And if people want to get more involved in both projects, where can they go to get more information or join the communities?
So if you want to build a decentralized rendering application for your render farm or for your video solution, then sign up to the newsletter at vdt.network or follow vdt_network on Twitter. And for nOS, all our socials are on nos.io, and if you are a developer, then you can get a priority on the nOS token sale by building applications or contributing to the nOS codebase. So if you want to build nOS applications, then I suggest you go to our GitHub, github.com/nos, and sign up to our Discord at discord.nos.io. And don't forget to sign up to the newsletter on nos.io and follow NOS platform on Twitter, subscribe to the Reddit and Telegram, all that's NOS platform as well.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for coming on the podcast, mate. And I'm sure
pleasure.
the Amsterdam conference is going to go. Neo Loves Amsterdam, as it's known, is going to be awesome. And by the time this goes live, you'll be on the European tour.
Yep.
Dishing out workshops and dropping knowledge on people at meetups. So I hope all that goes well.
Thank you.
I can't wait to catch up with you again, mate.
Yeah, man, you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Cheers.